Alright guys, let's do a message for my fellow Aries out there. How are you guys doing today? I'm starting to get a bit of feeling back in my mouth. Not a bit, I can feel a lot better than I could before. A couple hours ago I couldn't feel nothing. In fact, like, I was trying to take a sip out of my straw and the water was coming out the side of my mouth because my lips were like because I had a fillings done on the side. I was supposed to get a root canal done today. I wasn't able to get it done today. You have to take like antibiotics before you get. Anyway, but I did get some cavities filled today, and they numbed me very well. And again, I had to wait for that, so it's starting to go away. But if you notice I'm like talking weird, or if I do make any weird faces, it's still not completely back to normal. But it's getting later, and I'm getting a strong message, so I want to go ahead and get it out because I think that this is something we need to talk about here. So I do want to say yesterday, I did start the clock though, but yesterday I did a message for us actually last night. But after I did it, I was laying in bed and looking at the video and I was editing it, and I got halfway through it, about halfway through, and I was like, I don't know, I started to get a different message in the message. So I said, all right, I'm going to step away from it. I'm going to go to sleep, wake up, do my dentist appointment today, and then I'm going to just see if I get anything tomorrow, aka right now. It's not very different than the one yesterday, but slightly. So just to kind of recap of a video that I'm not going to post because there's no point, we're going to pick up where we left off, but let me just recap a little on what I got in that video. Was basically somebody was or has been examining you, if you will. They've been watching you. It's almost like as if you were being auditioned for something, or you were being investigated for something. You hear that? But not necessarily anything bad. Someone was just either it was romantically and somebody really had a crush on you or was starting to fall in love with you, but they wanted to like make sure you were genuine, or whatever their reasoning was. They weren't pouncing on something. They weren't making a big move. They were just kind of, you know, watching you from behind the scenes, but almost so quiet that they were making you believe that they weren't even there. Quiet as a mouse. I'm hearing quiet as a mouse. Some of you, this was or is, they're still doing it currently, an employer, a current employer, a past employer, somebody who's considering employing you for something. If you ever signed up for something, especially online, and you put your name or anything that you did and you sent them to like your social media handles, they've been watching you. In the video, no matter what story it was, no matter if it was romantic or potential future employer, or somebody was considering you for some part in a show, or considering you for some part in a game or something. I know y'all are like, what? Even if you didn't know, right? Or somebody was like, well, you know, if I leave a situation I'm in, or if I decide to pursue Aries or Aries cross watcher, I want to make sure like this would work for me. Like, are they even my type of person before I go and make this big decision, you know? Loud ass vehicles. Seriously, it's like one of my biggest pet peeves. I'm telling you, this is like one of the things. So, lost my train of thought. Let's move forward. That's what I was getting yesterday. But it was so long. It took me a while to even get that out. And then when I sat down and was, like I said, rewatching it and editing the video, that's basically the video summed up. But today what I'm getting is whoever's been doing this, like examining you, if you will, kind of seeing if you are right for their life or right for the job, or, you know, like you were unknowingly being scouted for something, whether it's a position in someone's life, a position in someone's company, a place in their company, a spot on their show, like whatever it is, wherever it fits, place it in your life, however it goes. They've grown a heart for you, whoever this is. It's like they've grown to love you. Really. They've actually grown to not only love you, but to kind of admire you in a way, and I think they love and admire you for like unconventional reasons, like weird reasons, which is cool because we like that. We like to be weird and different and unique, and you know, better to love us for our randomness than to love us because we're like everyone else. We don't like that. We like to stand out. So I do think that somebody, they definitely know you stand out. Oh, you stand out. And maybe it's even unfavorable how you stand out. It's not something that the majority of society is probably comfortable with. And at first they may have been like shocked by your attitude or shocked by your personality, by the way that you handle things. Or maybe it's like, oh, I don't know. It could be a no. It could be a no. It should be a no. It's almost like where you don't want to look, but you like, what's that thing, and you're like, I don't want to see, but I kind of like it. It's kind of like that. Like maybe even this is a person, depending on what scenario or category it fits in here. Maybe even all of them, where they would come and kind of examine you through your social media or through some way, shape, or form where you didn't know they were watching you. And just kind of, it's like scouting you for something, okay? And then they would go away. They would try to distract themselves. Maybe there were times they would do like this, like, oh, it's a, I don't know. Ooh, that could be a red flag. Ooh, I don't know if that's a, ooh, it's probably things you say. Your words, your vocabulary, how you carry yourself. The words that you use can be a little off-putting at times. Whatever it is, however you are, there were times that it was like, oh, I don't know, like, would that work well in my life? Would that work well? That could clash with people. That could, but I like it though. We kind of need someone like her here. We need someone like him in our life or something. I get every scenario, romance, work, maybe all the above. This could be even through work, like somebody was considering you, I don't know, met you through some sort of potential work possibility or something, or work connection, however that looks, but yet they started to fall for you. They grew a heart for you. They respect you in some way. You know, this individual that I'm getting today, I'm getting the rest of the story. So there's no point in just posting that video when I could just sum it up in one. And I still got 3 minutes. I felt like I've been on here for like 20 minutes already. This individual finds you to be someone who's going to be easy to get along with, that if people would just listen to you, if people would really get to know you, they would probably love you, just as this person has grown to love you. It just takes someone to really sit down and listen and not judge you from the jump and off the bat, to really try to hear what you're trying to say instead of be negative about you immediately, judge you like a judge judging a book by its cover. You know, you have like this certain outer shell, and I'm not saying your outer shell is not a part of who you are, but it's not really, like, people need to know why you are the way you are. Why do you say the things you say? And they're only going to know that, you know, it's not going to happen overnight. You know, it's going to take some getting to know you. It won't take super long. It's just got to be someone who's got a willing heart. Willing heart, you know, willing eyes will see. A willing heart will feel. Willing ears will listen. You know what I mean? And I say all this to say, it actually happened to me today, and that rhymes. I'm a poet and didn't know it, daddy. Yeah. What the fuck? I don't know. Okay, no joke. So I called the doctor. I don't know if you watched my Capricorn video yesterday, but I called the doctor. Yes, indeed. Something about Indeed. It's Indeed something online. I don't know what Indeed is, but something to do with business. First I had to call the insurance, right? And she just started opening up to me about her whole entire life, and vice versa. Like, she was talking about all kinds of things. Like, I don't have enough time to talk about it. And honestly, I was shocked because I'm like, isn't this a recorded call? Like, it's got to be a recorded call. I'm talking like personal things about her life, like deep personal things about when she went to high school, and like being pregnant with her child currently, and just like her marriage and her partying life and all this stuff. And I'm like, wow. Or not partying life, but how she would help her friends that used to party and her friends that had betrayed her before and all this. And I'm just like, dang. I mean, it was like I just met up with a friend from a past life all over again, and I didn't even know. I haven't met her in this life, but there's a reason I'm talking about this. Okay. So anyway, I told her I was an Aries, and then she was like, my mom's an Aries, and saying that her mom she was raised by a single mom, and she was telling me how her dad like flipped out at her wedding, and she had to like put him in her place, or put him in his place, and just beautiful. Like, I love this. And I said, you know what? You don't meet people like you. Like, most people are just like, oh, I've got to do my job, and but you know, this is a beautiful part of her job is like, she really, I felt very comfortable with her, and I was just like, it was her first child. She is pregnant currently with her first child. And I'm like, you've got this. Like, you've got this. The sweetest person ever. And I think that that's it. right? Because of all the stories she was telling me, I was like, man, like I could see where people on the outside get her wrong, where they, even maybe her job could probably get her wrong and be like, hey, you were on that call for like 2 hours, legit, like 2 hours, almost, 1 hour and 53 minutes. Yeah. So, I mean, but it changed my whole entire day, my whole entire mood, you know. And I mean, even I could even barely feel my mouth because it was right after I got out of the dentist, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I just got out of the dentist, like, and so I was telling her about like what I like my learning issues and my concentration and things like that, and um, she was just super cool. Like, I don't know. So she was, long story short, telling me that her mom is an Aries and that she was raised by a single mom, and that she's her best friend. She's going to be in the room when she gives birth to her, and she can talk to her about anything. And I'm like, it really does make a difference when you have somebody that is genuine, because there's not a lot of them, you know. There's not a lot of people that are willing to like go outside of the box and say certain things and do certain things, although they're probably not supposed to, just because they feel called to, and because it's like you're being vulnerable with them, so they're going to be vulnerable with you, you know. um, I mean, that's, you don't know whose life you're actually changing, or even lives you can help save, you know. I mean, and so it was really beautiful. I had like such just a really touching moment, we'll call it like that, you know, today. And I said, so we finally like she gave me the information, and I was just like, thank you, like, thank you for talking to me. And she said the same thing, you know. She's like, it's a pleasure talking to you. I'm like, you too, man. Like, you know, like I feel like we both came out of that helping each other, because like there was some things I said from like an adopted perspective that helped her kind of with issues she had with her dad, you know. And I learned a whole lot, like just a whole lot of about like friends even, and boundaries, and just, I don't know, she just really opened my eyes. And I don't want to keep going on forever and like beating a dead horse, but I feel like it's important to mention this woman because she was a massive part of my day aside from the dentist, and she's a part of this message right now. How funny is that God had that happen today? And not to mention, when I went back into the dentist, you know, I was like, you know, I get embarrassed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna say I don't. I do. Absolutely. You know, they're the sweetest people and the most non-judgmental people. They're all women, and they've seen me forever. But you know, the dentist is really expensive, and I feel like I've done a lot of damage on my teeth. I mean, I don't feel like, I definitely have, and they're just really kind about it and understanding, and they know about my eating disorder, but they're so proud of me for everything else that I've overcome, and they're proud of me for still overcoming the eating disorder and for being active about it and being open about it. And it's just, I feel like I got so much love from women today, just so much understanding from the outside community. And even they said to me, like, they were thankful that I was very open and honest, whereas some people will come to the dentist and they just won't say anything, but they can like tell, you know, because they're not stupid, they're trained. But they can tell when people do drugs, they can tell when people drink too much, they can tell when people have eating disorders, like they can tell. And so they've known me for several years now, and it was just cool. Like, they were happy to have me back, and we just talked like we had never skipped a beat. And so I think I need you to know that this is definitely your message today, Aries or Aries crosswatcher, that no, I'm not wasting time. I'm not wasting my breath. And I don't think that if you're here and your heart is really open that you think I am. I think that you get where I'm coming from and why the message that I did had to wait till today. Because you are a very important person, even if just to a handful of people. And it could be complete strangers, people that there's no reason they should, you know, care for us necessarily, not on the level that they do, but you never know whose life you're impacting. You never know if by sharing your story, no matter how embarrassing it is to you or painful it is for you to talk about, that you're actually making a difference. And you know, You're going to win some, you're going to lose some. You're going to have some people that are offended by what you say, that are like judgmental of you right off the jump. You know, all they're going to do is they want to judge you. So that's what they're going to do. They already established that. They've already decided that they don't like you, that they're going to judge you. But some people will come to you with open hearts and will run into you and bump into you with open hearts. And not only will you possibly change their entire life or just their day, just their moment, but they could also change yours. So coming from an open heart, and also when you have that, it helps other people have an open heart to you. And that is just beautiful love. That's some beautiful love. And not everybody's going to judge you, and not everybody's going to try to stop your growth and try to hate on you. In fact, you could inspire them to realize that they can make it through whatever they're going through too, even if they're not going to tell you. They don't have to, you know. But I'm going to leave this here. Whoever's watching you, whoever's been kind of examining you from the outside looking in, that hasn't been saying anything, don't feel bad about that, you know. There's reasons they just haven't known what to say. They were just trying to figure out what type of a person you were. Kind of reminds me of one of my favorite movies, 7 Pounds. If you haven't seen it, you should. It's got Will Smith in it. No matter how he is, he's a great actor. But you're being examined. You've been watched for something, and people have been considering your character, and some are only considering your character just so they can pick it apart and decide what's wrong with you and why they don't like you and why you don't deserve to be where you're at. Some think that they have the right to do these things, and others have been examining you because they're intrigued and they want to know what it is that makes you tick and that makes you who you are. It's not for mean or cruel or hateful intentions. It's because they genuinely are trying to see if and what you are, but like if you're a good fit in something. So some of you could have you could be getting some sort of position in the near future that you were not expecting to get. Like you may have wanted it at one time and you kind of gave up on it because you heard nothing but crickets. It's just silent, silent, silent. It's because they've been kind of being like a ninja. They're just like, you know, or like a sniper, just like quietly watching you. I mean, it can come off as creepy as I talk about it. It's a little creepy, but it's not creepy. They're just scouting you out. You know, I mean, you could have some, so watch your back, but you also have some for love who they've been deciding on you, I guess you could say. And it's like you really have touched somebody's heart. You're a whole lot of different things. You're like a conundrum. I can't even talk. You're like a conundrum and like a beautiful disaster. I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, I'm gonna go now. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.